in front of all you Democrats, and I first need to thank all the people who fought so hard for me to be here today. I'm going to give you all a big sloppy kiss afterwards, but right now I only have 3 minutes. So first I'm going to start with my daughters. I have 3 amazing feminist daughters. Heaven is a college student, Piper is my 8-year-old mini-me, and Ireland is my little artist. I've been married for almost 11 years. We got married on Pearl Harbor Day, Carl and I, and he says that it was indeed a day that shall live in infamy. I'm also a veteran of the United States Navy, and I was born and raised in a Union family over on the east side of Des Moines. Thank you. So I understand that my brash style sometimes rubs people in the establishment the wrong way. I get that. But I talk like a sailor because I am a sailor, and I earned that right to speak that way. For today, though, I'm going to use my Drake University education and Schoolhouse Rock and unpack my adjectives to explain why I am so angry about the way we find ourselves today. I am enraged that David Young is bought and paid for by corporations. I am livid that we are still fighting for health care with the Republicans because it is a universal right for everyone, not a privilege of the rich. I am livid that Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Mexico have not received the funding they need because our president is a racist. And I am furious because Black lives do matter. And as a veteran, I stand with my brothers and sisters of color by taking a knee. So to you, my fellow Democrats, I say if you're not angry, if you're not livid, and if you're not furious at what the Republicans have done to this nation, then you're not paying attention. Now is not the time to punish those of us who are angry, the activists who want to do something. Now is time to harness that rage and turn it into activism, because this is the time that we fight for the soul of our nation. When Michelle Obama says when they go low, we go high, that works well for her because she's really classy. I'm not. So when they go low, I prefer to kick them where it counts. My name's Heather Ryan, and if you think I'm feisty now, wait till I get to Congress. You can find me at ryanforiowa.com, and I want you to help me join the fight. Thank you.
I think it's a bit absurd to think that we're going to discuss them fully or properly in 3 minutes. So I'll be honest, I'm not even going to try to do so. In fact, I'm going to try to do it in under 3 minutes and see if Sean will give me a little rebate maybe for the 3-minute time. My name is Pete D'Alessandro, and I believe that although we may win an election attacking Donald Trump, because there's a lot to attack, we can't win the future unless we propose bold policies that clearly address the needs of working Americans. If you honor me with a Democratic nomination for Congress in Iowa 3, here's my pledge. I'll travel this district and I will propose policies without nuance. We will fight for a living wage. I believe the discussion starts at $15 an hour. That's what we will talk about in this district. I will propose policies that will guarantee that everyone who has earned it can go to college without being buried in debt. That's free tuition at our public universities and relief for those that are already buried. I will call climate change what it really is. It is a climate disruption that is causing a climate crisis, and I will propose policies that will put America in a leadership role to solve it. And finally, we need to join those countries that we have historically called our allies, our friends, and codify into law a simple but powerful truth. Health care is not a privilege, it is a right. That is a single-payer Medicare for all system, and I will talk about that in every place in this district. You can follow my campaign at PeteForIowa.com. I hope we have time, and I know we will over the next few months, to discuss these issues in the proper way. You know, our primary in June is on the 50th anniversary of when they robbed us of Robert Kennedy. And Robert Kennedy used to say that the future might be beyond our sight, but it's not beyond our grasp. And that because we're free people, we have an obligation to grab it and mold it to our will. I believe with all of my heart, if we stand for these things, not just in this district, but in this state and in this country, a generation from now, they'll say to us, they'll look back at us and say, that is the time the Democratic Party found its soul again. That is the time the Democratic Party heeded the words of Robert Kennedy. And instead of just trying to win elections, they started to win the future. And then they started winning elections again. Thank you. Let's make the will of the people the law of this land. Thank you very much.
everyone. Yeah, I'm Austin Frederick. I'm a 7th generation Iowan, a 1st generation college graduate from Grinnell. I'm from Cedar Rapids and I live in Winterset. I'm a former economist at the U.S. Department of Treasury, and I'm running to defeat Dave Young. I believe that economic concentration is the issue of our time. We need some old-fashioned Teddy Roosevelt-style trust busting. I see endless parallels between now and the early 1900s, when huge corporations pushed around farmers and small businesses, and the rich enjoyed a gilded age, while others fell further and further behind. Teddy Roosevelt broke up the trust because he understood how monopolies harm workers, farmers, consumers, and communities. I'm running for Congress because I want to do something about it. I'm on your side. I know it won't be easy. After all, there are a lot of powerful interests standing in our way. A few weeks ago, I published an op-ed in Des Moines Register calling for the breakup of Monsanto. Pretty soon, we're going to have 2 companies having 80% market control in corn seed. Not only that, they're buying the fertilizer and the precision egg. They control every input. That's insane. And sure enough, within a week of me announcing, a Koch-funded group published a response in the Register, which they actually argued that less choice helps farmers. Like, come on. I mean, let's also talk about Dave Young. He recently raised over $400,000 in the last quarter. 3% of that came from Iowans. And he had just one donation under $100. The dude, he's bought and paid for. I mean, and I believe that my economic message is how you beat him. I'm on your side. Now, most Americans agree with our message. And despite what the current president says, Democrats make the best deals. After all, Democrats passed the New Deal, and now Democrats are fighting for a better deal. We will win as long as our message is clear. We're on your side. Now, just last week, a poll actually came out saying that most Americans believe in Medicare for all. And actually, most Americans believe in climate change too. So we gotta ask then, why is Al Gore making the same movie 10 years later? It's because with economic power comes political power. And these robber barons can buy off our political system. Until we tackle them, defang them, another Trump will come along. They're not on our side. Now, I want to end with a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. The fundamental rule in our national life, the rule that underlies all other, is that on the whole and in the long run, we shall go up or down together. I'm willing to hustle hard to show every Democrat and Republican, urban and rural, gay and straight, old and young, that we're on your side. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting you all. Take care.
Wow, this crowd is amazing, and I love the energy. Let's put this back in here, right? Paul, how'd you do this, buddy? Okay, let's start with that. Anyhow, I'm Cindy Axney, and I'm running for the United States Congress against David Young. I want to thank the Iowa Democratic Party and the Polk County Democrats for bringing back the steak fry. Boy, it feels like a long 3 years since Senator Harkin hosted his last steak fry outside of Indianola. You know, for about 40 years, Iowa Democrats could count on Harkin's steak fry as being the highlight of their political calendar. Just like we came to count on Senator Harkin to be our conscience, to be the defender of our Iowa values, and to be the progressive voice out in Washington. And for nearly 40 years, even before he was elected to Congress, he courageously and brought to light human rights atrocities in South Vietnam, and then actually lost his job after releasing the now famous tiger cage photos. But that was just the start of his work on our human rights issues. It's because of Senator Harkin that millions of Americans are protected today under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Landmark legislation that he passed with bipartisan support, you know, that's something that's hard to imagine in today's political climate. But time and again, Senator Harkin was the voice for progressive change here for our nation. He was a true prairie populist. But no matter the size of the fight that he took on in Washington, he never forgot about us back here in Iowa. He traveled all 99 counties each year because he wanted to hear from us. He supported our farmers. He looked out for Iowa workers. He improved our Iowa schools for our kids. and he raised our struggling families up when we needed it. And when it came to doing what was right, Senator Harkin never stopped fighting, and right now we need more leaders like that out in Washington, and that's why I'm running for Congress. I'm a fifth-generation Iowan, a small business owner, a parent, a community activist, and I spent a decade helping Iowans as a public servant and holding government accountable. You know, my parents met at a church picnic, and they taught me as a little girl with my sisters that we look out for our friends and strangers alike, because when everybody does well, our community thrives. And I'll tell you what, I'm not afraid to stand up to the powerful, even when it's uncomfortable. When it comes to standing up for Iowans and defending the values that we believe in, there's absolutely no price that's too high, and Senator Harkin taught us that with every lesson and every fight that he took on for us. That's right. And if elected, I promise to stand up to those values of Senator Harkin. I promise to never stop fighting when it comes to doing the right thing, like affordable health care, access to good schools, addressing climate change, and bringing great jobs back here to Iowa. So thank you so much. I love your vote, and let's win this thing together.
You know, in order to change the world, we must be good to those who cannot repay us. That message from Pope Francis, it's a call. It's a challenge for the type of real leaders we need in our world today. I'm Eddy Morrow. I am a husband, a father, a business owner. I once was a teacher and a championship coach, and through it all, a Democrat. Because in my family, serving others and being a Democrat are one and the same. You see, my parents, they taught me about sacrifice and generosity. One of my aunts, Sister Joanne Morrow, a Catholic nun, she taught me about love, understanding, acceptance, and tolerance. Two of my uncles had been public servants. My Uncle Michael Morrow, Secretary of State, and my Uncle John Morrow, a dedicated county supervisor. They taught me how to be a public servant with integrity while still having a passion and a fight for democratic values. I too have been called to serve those who cannot repay us. I'm a founding member of Amos, a community organization that has done remarkable work in Iowa for over 20 years. And I'm here today because I've been called again to serve. This time in a fight for the soul of our country. Because like you, I've had enough. I've had enough of David Young doing nothing to move us forward towards 21st century jobs and a 21st century economy. Meaningful and fulfilling jobs that seize upon the opportunities of automation, globalization, immigration, and our environment. I've had enough of David Young attempting to rob hardworking families of the right to health care, women the right to control their own destiny, and our LGBT and Q community the rights that they deserve. I've had enough of David Young turning his back on our kids and our schools while at the same time ignoring our rural communities. Most importantly, I've had enough of watching people be misled, be conned, and be tricked by politicians like David Young, whose only really goal is to help those who can repay him. Those that can't pay, they're the marginalized, they're the ignored, they're the voiceless in our community. And to them I say, my name is Eddy Morrow. I see you, I hear you, and I respect you, and I will be your voice. I am damn proud to be a Democrat, the party of the people. And I want to serve you because now more than ever, we need to have the courage of our convictions, the courage to fight for the soul of this country. God bless you and thank you.
Take this off. Well, let's not. Let's leave it on. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is such a beautiful day here, but you know what? It's a wonderful day to be a Democrat in Iowa. Yeah. Because you know what? Never before has it been more clear what we stand for as opposed to the Republican leadership in Washington, D.C. I'm Teresa Greenfield, and I'm running for Congress in the 3rd District. I like to describe myself as a feisty mom, a farm girl, and a businesswoman. On the farm, that's where I learned about hard work, perseverance, self-reliance, common sense, never giving up. And as a mother of 4, I know what it's like to sit at the kitchen table and make tough decisions, making ends meet. And as a president of a business, a small business, I know what it's like to sit at the conference room table where you have to remain profitable. I sign paychecks, I provide jobs. And I've also had some ups and downs in my life. In 1985, I eloped and got married to the man of my dreams. And we settled down in Buffalo Center, Iowa, way up in the northern Winnebago County. Rod, he was a lineman for the power company. He was a member of the IBEW. And we started our little family up there in a house that was so small, you couldn't open the bedroom door without it hitting the foot of the bed. But you know what? We are in love and we are on our way to our American dream. That changed in June of 1988 because on that day, Rod died in a workplace accident. And as a mom with 2 kids, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to survive. And I'll tell you what, I decided to dust myself off, get back up, and with the help of my family, my friends, my community, and the generosity of the American people, I was able to restart my life with Social Security. And with the hard-earned benefits, and the hard-earned benefits from unions, like workers' compensation, they allowed me to get back on my feet. And today I've remarried, I have a family of 4. Our kids are ages 31 to 24. And I'll tell you what, I'm running for Congress because I am tired of Republican politicians who keep cutting programs that have made the American middle class great, like Social Security. They want to cut Medicaid. We cannot let that happen. I am running for our working families. They want to make more money. And Democrats, we can help with that, with better skills, better training, and better jobs so they can get their American dream. And finally, I'm running for our students, for health care, and I want to do something about climate change. I want Iowans to continue to grow their green economy. We can do this. All right, are you guys fired up? Yeah, I am fired up. We need to send 20-year politician David Young packing. He does not represent Iowa's interests. He does not share our values, and I want to win. Join me. Come on over to my booth. Volunteer. Sign up. Would love to meet you today. Thank you.